Hi there, it's Adam at Blackpool Boiler Installations. This little video is just a few frequently asked questions we get from our customers. So we thought we'd put a little video together just so it might help you out. Okay, so you've had a new boiler and now maybe your pressure on your boiler's gone low quite quickly. Okay, so you're thinking, I've had a new boiler, why is my pressure low? Okay, so there's a couple of reasons that could be. Number one is there could be a small leak on the boiler. Okay, so give us a call, we will come out and check our work. If there's a problem with anything we've done on the boiler or near the boiler, we will fix that, obviously free of charge, because you've already paid for us to fit your new boiler. Okay, it could mean that you've got a leak somewhere else on the system that you might not have known you'd had before, but since you've got a new boiler, this boiler's telling you about it. Okay, so we drain the boiler, we fit the new boiler, we just touch the pipework around the area, but you might have a leak somewhere else on the system. The boiler knows, you have to top it up, okay? That is a frequent occurrence, and it's no problem. Give us a call, we can have a look for you. But if there's any additional work that we might need to do, obviously that will be a chargeable visit, because you've got a leak or a problem somewhere on the system that's now being flagged up since you've had your new boiler. Okay, new boilers have low pressure switch inside them that tells you and alerts you that the pressure on the boiler is low. Your old one may not have had that facility, so you would never have known about this before. Okay, another little question we have sometimes is since you've fitted a new boiler, a couple of the radiators don't work down that far end of the house, or we've got a couple of issues there. Okay, so why might that happen? When we drain the central heating system, obviously we drain all the water out so we can work on the system. When we fill the system back up, we check everything's working as it should. However, if the odd radiator is not working, it could be because during the draining process and our work, some of the old dirty water and sludge has dragged through and one of the valves or radiators has either become blocked or it's not working as it should. Now, we will come out and check that for you, and if it's something we can do free of charge in a quick visit, we will do so. However, if you need a new radiator or you need some other flushing or the valves are now faulty because they've got rubbish dragged through them, you would need some additional work carried out, which is obviously chargeable, unfortunately. Now, this is a rare occurrence, but if a system hasn't been drained for a while and then all of a sudden we come and carry out some work, you could have problems opening up a can of worms on a system and radiators that have worked before, but now do not work since you've modernized the system. Okay, so it is unfortunate when that happens. Obviously we can't be responsible for the entire system just because we're fitting a boiler. We didn't fit the pipework, the valves, the radiators and all the rest of it with it. So it's just to make you aware that sometimes you can get small issues like that. We'll happily have a look for you, and if it's something we can do or it is something we've done, we can sort it, but you may need some more further work that you didn't know about before. Okay, so that's just another thing there. Another thing that sometimes can happen is when you convert a system. Okay, so let's say you've had an old style system with a tank in the loft and an airing cupboard, and you've modernized the system for a new combi boiler. Fantastic, most people are doing that nowadays. That's great, but sometimes what can happen is because your system and your pipework, your radiators are now working with a high pressure water going through them as opposed to what you used to have, which was gravity, low pressure, you can now have leaks occur because the system can't cope with the new pressure going through it. Okay, so you may have an old radiator valve or even an old shower that was fine before. You have a new combi boiler and all of a sudden the shower drips or a radiator leaks, and it's because the new pressure of the system is causing the old O-rings and seals to leak. Okay, because they've been used to running on low pressure gravity for 20, 30 years. Now all of a sudden you've converted the system to a combi boiler. Okay, so it's rare, it happens now again, but it's something to be aware about. And sometimes again, with the pressure thing, you can lose pressure on your boiler, you fill it up, a week, 2 weeks, a month later, the pressure goes down and you have to fill it up again. And we have to wonder why that is. You could have a leak somewhere that you don't know about, or it's all of a sudden happened because you've converted the system so it now can't deal with the new pressure, okay? Unfortunately, if that's the case, we can't just ignore the problem and just keep filling the boiler up every week, every month, because we're just going to do more damage to the new boiler, okay? So we'll need to do a trace and repair, so either find the leak or cut the leak out and repipe the system, okay? So again, these are quite rare, but something you need to be aware about when you're spending your money, and there can be a few little niggles along the way, which is just part of the old system or the system design. So if you're affected by any of those, it has happened before, give us a ring. If we can help you, we certainly will, but you may need some further work, which we can either give you costs on down the line or a quote on to try and rectify these small issues. I hope this video has been valuable for you. I hope you don't have any trouble with those niggles, and yeah, enjoy your new boiler.